Hey, here's a special with Connor Joe, and we are with the limo riding, jet flying son of a gun, and we're nearing the end of week three, and we're at a point where it looks like that Mike's gonna finish up 1-2 at the end of week three. Week one, he had a tough loss. He was facing Reina. He lost by about 3 points. Week two, he annihilated the shit out of Divock. And then week three, just about to the end of the afternoon games, he was killing shit. And then out of nowhere, Luke pulled a miracle out of his ass, mainly by Mr. Russell Wilson. And we're just here to talk about the status of your team. I think he got his first win last week in the first year or so. But here we are now, and we just want to talk about Mike. Thanks for coming on. And what's the status of your team? How do you feel about your team heading into the remaining 2019 season?
Well, first of all, it's very nice to meet you. I've heard very good things about
you.
Oh,
you. Yeah. Thank you. It means
one thing I can say is that don't ever in your life wear a fucking Stanford polo, and the pin. That's out. No more of that.
So this was the pin we were using.
Really?
This was the pin we were using in week 2.
Okay.
Or in week 1. I don't remember
Let me
what
make
week
sure.
it was.
Oh
Yeah, that's the clicky pin.
Oh
So
yeah.
this is the new pin. If you looked around the league, Bukaki, he's endorsed this pin. So Bukaki, if you've seen his avatar, this is the pin that he chooses. This is the pin of the Clown League.
Does Bic do they allow you to sponsor them? Do they pay you?
They do.
Right.
They do. That's why we are airing where we are now. Pick. Choose the right pin.
Don't they create lighters and shit too?
I don't know what they do.
Okay. Anyway, status of my team. I feel like my team could be sneaky good. Not necessarily dominant. It just depends on the week. But I just feel like you don't know what you're going to get that week. I tell you why. My running backs. As long as you give me 10 and Patrick Mahomes goes off.
Well, let's talk about that. Patrick Mahomes, he was your second pick, right?
Second.
So your first round pick was Julio Jones. So Patrick Mahomes, he was the reigning fantasy MVP. And how did you feel when he slipped to where he did in the second round for you?
Well, honestly, I thought these hating ass motherfuckers in here was gonna, hate. Oh, he grabbed it too early. But I don't care. I just rode my boat and then stay in my lane. So I took it, and so far it's worked out.
Yeah,
I like it. The only thing I can say is that again, my running backs can get better. My running backs get better. This shit won't be happening with this motherfucker. Okay.
So so is the running backs where the opportunity lies, or is there other opportunities that you're looking at the moment?
I'm gonna make some offers, but I also keep in mind that Mr. Daniel Jones went off today, and there's somebody on my roster who's suspended. So when he comes back, I'm looking forward to putting him in flex.
So we're talking about Mr. Golden Tate, and I think Golden Tate was the steal for Mr. Limo Ryden. 4-game suspension. He's coming back in about 2 weeks, and seeing what Daniel Jones did today, it's just spectacular. Especially Evan Ingram's getting all the targets. Sterling Shepard had a fantastic game, and now we plug in Golden Tate. So we talked about it, weathering the storm, and we have Golden Tate coming back in 2 weeks. How does Golden Tate affect your team?
It's tough to say. I mean, it all depends on.
Oh, we have a guest in the house.
It all depends on, what Mr. Daniel Jones wants to do moving forward. I mean, he looked pretty good, but again, you have to take into account. No one has seen him play. No one has film on him. So they don't know his tendencies. They don't know where his weaknesses. They don't know his strengths. So once they develop that, he will go from here, probably down to here.
Yeah.
But let's just hope that doesn't happen within the season for me, because I'm looking forward for Mr. Daniel Jones to give Mr. Golden Tate some love. That's all I need.
Well, we got a wild animal over here. And speaking of wild animal, is there any changes that you feel like you need to make in your team? Have you heard from any other GMs in the league? Let's talk about that. Are there any rumor mills that you want to address?
Just there's been some, not a lot, but some, that's just like, it didn't happen. But we weren't interested. It was, we move on. I think we're pretty comfortable where we're at. We're gonna take the John Lynch approach to things. Okay. We're comfortable where we're at. We're confident in what we have, but we're always looking to get better. So if it makes sense for our team this year, but we're going to be super aggressive in making sure that our team gets to the next level, and that we can potentially, if I go 1-2, make sure that doesn't turn to 1-3. So if we can add some pieces, I think that'd be great. If that means moving some things around for future picks, I think that's necessary.
Absolutely. And what if we end up losing the week and it's 1-2? Where do you see yourself about 3-4 weeks from now? Especially the trade deadline is moved up early this year. I believe it's moved up to week 8, earlier than previous seasons. Where do you see yourself at? About 3-4 weeks from now. Do you see yourself as a buyer or a seller?
I see myself as a seller this year. I've been very apprehensive, tentative towards making trades because, people like to do strange things in this league. But at the same time, I can't do that this year. I have to move forward and get better. Okay? I see myself within the next couple of weeks. I don't know if you've met him. His name is Steven.
Oh.
He's my league rival.
I do. I report directly to him.
Okay.
Yep.
So he, just thinks he's just this wheeling, dealing fucking guru.
Okay.
And it's just like the most annoying shit in the world.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, okay, you can make a trade. That don't mean you're going to win shit. It's simple.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm tired of this motherfucker. I'm tired of losing. Okay? I need a win. And when I do get a win, he won't hear the end of it this year. I don't care what he's done in the past. I don't care. I need a W. Okay? He's been too dominant on me. I don't like it. Okay? But how I see myself with the next couple weeks, if I can rebound from this and Patrick Mahomes doesn't pussyfoot, I feel like I can make some noise. I'm right now, currently, like statistically, I'm the highest scoring team in the league.
You are putting up points, and with that said, I would like to mention, over the last few years, you've been the laughingstock in the league. Unfortunately, I mean, you've come up with, was it 2 wins last year? You almost came with the worst record last season. You just haven't performed, and this season, I think there's high expectations. You have a solid roster. I think this is the year you're going to break out. The strength of schedule is obviously hurting you a little bit. I think this is the season you're going to break out, and if so, when? When do you think you're going to break out? Is it hard to keep your head up high, knowing you had a tough loss in week 1, you finally got that victory in week 2, you've had another heartbreaking loss in week 3,
potentially. So you're
right. Potentially, you're right. But after all these disappointing seasons, how hard is it to keep striving, moving forward, to keep your head up high, to ensure that you're fighting the good fight?
I mean, every year you go in knowing you got to put up 100, 110, and you're like, we're just going to put this up, but we have the intentions of raising that goddamn championship and raising that trophy. So I don't like talking about it. It is a laughing stock, but I think this year I could be there. I could be at one of those teams. I hope so.
Do you think you're moving the needle in the right direction? For your franchise?
Potentially, if I would have got a W this week, I feel like I would have. I honestly feel like I need to make a move.
Okay. I
need to make a move. So that might be coming. I don't know.
And with that said, are there certain players that you're willing to move the puzzle pieces to get the correct assets? And if so, who?
Obviously Julio's done great for me, and I really like Cooper. And Larry, he's just timeless. Especially with somebody who can actually throw the ball.
He is pretty old. Maybe that's the word we're looking for. Maybe it's not timeless. Maybe it's old.
Well, he's pretty much raped the Niners these past couple of years with his old self,
and I'm sure he can continue doing that.
Did you watch that game last year where they won? I believe in overtime.
Yeah.
Did that hurt?
It did. It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Motherfucker, just gut punching your team. Yeah, that's.
There's certain players that own certain teams. I think we can agree on that. And then we look at what this week. Did he literally have like one reception for like a 1 yard touchdown?
I think so. I think that's the difference.
Yeah,
There's a difference.
This is Captain Kirk's team. Yeah, but okay. Yep.
I'm willing. I'm to answer your question. Hold on, Connor. I believe I'm willing to move certain pieces. I think more so picks.
And this is a new direction for you. This is something you wouldn't previously do. Am I right?
I'm willing to take L's for the future to make sure that I maintain the present. So I'll let you go. I'm looking for running backs.
All right. Well, it's been great having this conversation with you. Is there anything else you'd like to put the league on blast?
2 things.
Yep.
Number 1, the number 15, California Golden Bears.
Michael Crabtree. Oh, I'm sorry. I number 15. Sorry.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
The number 15, California Golden Bears. Mr. Wilcox, thank you. Okay, because that motherfucker Sonny Dykes was just giving up the booty on D. Now we have a D with some DBs and somebody who can actually make play calls, and it's just refreshing.
What they did against Ole Miss, traveling to Mississippi. I don't know if I read that right, but that's the first time a Pac-12 team traveled to the East on the road and won a victory in like 3 years.
I think it's longer than that.
I still can't believe it. 3 years doesn't even sound about right. But what they did against Mississippi,
an SEC team,
that was magnificent. Not to mention with their goal line stop, the Cal Bears are on notice, and what they're doing for the Pac-12, they look like the best Pac-12 team, and nobody would have ever thought to say that.
Also,
you have one more thing you said you were going to say.
Those 3-0 motherfucking Niners. Those 3-0 Niners. I don't care how you write about it, how you say it. If your team is in Tennessee, if your team is in Pittsburgh, listen, 3-0 is 3-0. 0-3 is 0-3, 1-2 is 1-2.
That's right.
0-1 and 1, or 0-2 and 1 is 0-2 and 1.
That's right.
It's all the same thing, okay?
Yeah.
It's a win is a win, a loss is a loss. So we have to give credit where credit is due to Mr. Shanahan, okay, Mr. Lynch, okay. Their formula is showing up. Hopefully, Akello's not too hurt, and hopefully, our left tackle can come back, and things are looking up. But I'm just proud. I'm a proud Golden Bear, and I'm a proud Niner.
It's a good time, definitely, to be a Niner fan. It's definitely a good time to be a Cal fan. And if you watched my videos in weeks past, you've obviously noticed the Stanford Cardinal polo that I had on me. Definitely rubbed this guy the wrong way. Definitely rubbed a couple of other people the wrong way. So congrats to Michael and his Cal Bears. Definitely put them on notice. And thank you, Michael, for sitting down with this interview. And we are definitely done here. Thank you.